Crude oil and war. This is July 8th, 2009. Crude oil futures and prices down 6 days in a row. I noticed on Fast Money somebody says they're going to buy. So I'm going to talk about crude oil. As usual, many subjects to talk about, but let's talk about crude oil prices. You know, they went over 70, now they're back down to 60. Traders are thinking it'll go in the mid-50s. And from manoftruth's perspective, and I'm big picture, very, very big picture. Right now, what's influencing oil prices, to me, I think it's pretty evident, is the realization that, once again, as I called this depression about a couple years ago when I started streaming on YouTube, the market went back up 30%, and people think, oh gosh, it's coming back. And as I've said for 2 years, it's not coming back. So the market pundits, people get excited and say cash is on the sidelines, and people say, oh, it just this happened before, this hasn't happened before. So the markets will continue to be in a state of seeming chaos as they trend downward. But let's specifically talk about crude oil. In another video, I think I'm going to have to talk about the Pope making economic comments and stuff like that. Okay, so on the crude oil, yeah, it's moving. It's moving. Fundamentally, here's what's going to happen to crude oil prices. T. Boone Pickens has just gotten probably massacred. Flying J went bankrupt on the whole thing. And there's a lot of money on the most traded contracts on earth, which are oil futures and oil. What's driving prices down is the perception that the economy is headed down, which it is. So that's a correct perception worldwide. Even now people are saying, the U.S. isn't going to recover, which is going to affect China, da-da-da-da-da-da. But as far as crude oil prices, what's going to drive it past 100, 150, and 200 is, and Matt Simmons, fellow Harvard MBA, I've met him, I think, once and seen him on TV several times. It's not about peak oil. There's plenty of oil. There's plenty of oil in Utah, plenty of oil in Wyoming. There's plenty of oil. For political reasons, people have been unable to get at it, but there's plenty of oil for a long time. It's extracting it and, of course, refining it. You might have heard some of the stats about no new refineries for years and years here in the United States, and one thing said 30 years. So here's what's going to happen to crude oil. As long as it's trading on fundamentals of this worldwide depression that we're coming into, long-term viewers know that's obvious de facto. And I notice my videos as, the markets kind of accept that. They get more popular, and when people think, oh, it's coming back and MOT's negative, I'm not negative. I'm actually having a great summer and a happy guy. I'm just into reality. Optimism based on falsehood, to me, is insanity, stupid, and I don't have time for it. I watch it, but it's pathetic. So I'm into reality. Here's the reality. Iran is going to get attacked. It's just all these winds of war. And what's going to drive the price is war and rumors of war. So when Iran gets attacked and they fight back, and then North Korea's in on the deal, and then Russia and China and the U.S., and you got stuff flying all over. And specifically, when you have the Straits of Hormuz closed down, which those of you that are oil people know, there's a lot of oil flowing through the Straits of Hormuz every single day. When those get shut down, either by Iran or whatever, then the price of oil will go. And as long as you're still able to trade futures and trade oil, which is going to come under regulation, and there's different aspects to trading that. But once that happens, then you're going to see the price of oil, bam, priced in dollars, $100, $150, $200. So the safe bet on that, and I hope to form either some partnerships or sometime get some personal money into it. I'm not going to get into my personal situation because it's kind of funny to watch people go, how come you're not doing this and that? I'm amused sometimes. Sometimes you notice I get pissed, but sometimes I'm amused. Anyway, so 24 months out, 18 months out, no question in my mind, oil will be way over 150 and probably 200, 250. So Matt and Simmons and I, even for different reasons, will be on the same page. So you have Matt Simmons and MOT on the same page with oil going over 200. He thinks it's because of peak oil. I think it'll be because of war, closing down Straits of Hormuz, and then be difficult to refine, difficult to distribute, difficult to ship, and that's when the price will escalate because of war. So watch the deflationary and depressionary pressures, knock it down, but once the war hits, then it's going to be BAM! And those people that have contracts and futures that can cash them in will make obscene returns.